Another year for Colorado basketball. We're extremely excited, anxious for the season to start. We're 18 practices in, and I think those of you who follow this team, this program, know we have some pretty talented guys in uniform this year. But right now, we are, if I had to describe our team in one word, it would be overrated. We're not consistent enough to be considered a upper tier Pac-12 team right now. That's today, October whatever, 27th. I don't even know what the date is. But we're a work in progress. We're getting better. Thank God the season does not start right now. We still have some time to get better. We've got a couple scrimmages coming up that we'll find out where we're at. But I think right now, I think our players might think we're a little bit better than we actually are. And that's the reality. So we've got a lot of room for improvement. We got to get there in a short time to make it happen. So with that, I'll certainly answer any questions that are on your mind.
Is that common at this time of year? Players thinking they're better than they actually are?
I think with experienced teams, and with teams that maybe, again, in today's world of social media and information and how it travels, and I think it's probably a little bit more that way today maybe than it was 15 or 20 years ago, before the onslaught of all the ways that kids communicate and get information, like they do today. And so, yeah, I think it's pretty common. I think you talk to a lot of coaches that have teams that have external expectations on them. Yeah, they probably feel the same way.
Coach, what are some of those?
Coach kids that tell them they have a chip on their shoulder because people don't believe in them.
Yeah.
How do you switch that and coach kids who everybody thinks they're going to be good?
Well, I think you got to be harder on them. You have to be more demanding, and you have to be truthful. And that's why, again, we film every practice that we didn't have a great practice today. And again, this is a time of year too, as a coach, I've got to step back and really analyze things, because I'm usually in a bad mood after practice, because we got a gold team and a black team that are playing against each other, and the nature of coaching is, the gold team wins, I'm mad at the black team, and vice versa. So, but what I'm looking for is guys to separate themselves with a consistency factor that I haven't seen yet. Maybe one or two guys, maybe, but those one or two guys that I think are separating themselves might come back and have a bad practice, or do some boneheaded things the next day, and I'm questioning that. So looking for separation, and right now haven't quite seen it. Consistency is where we need our work, because we've got some talented guys. We've got some guys that understand what needs to be done. They just don't do it consistently.
Coach, what areas on the court do those inconsistencies fall into?
Defense, showing on ball screens, switching on ball screens, guarding the ball. I might guard the ball really well this possession. Next time I get blown by. Rebounding. We're charting every offensive rebound. Am I pursuing the ball the way I'm supposed to be pursuing the ball? We want to be doing that at a 90% clip. We're not even close to that. We're like at a 40 to 50% clip as a team. So, again, the reality factor is we're not getting it done, and that reality is going to become painful if we don't figure it out between now and the time we start playing games. So rebounding, defense, taking care of the ball. We had 4 or 5 turnovers today, feeding the post. Got to get better at that. It's just little things, passing and catching the ball cleanly. I could go down the whole list of things, areas where we have to get better.
Are you scrimmaging against teams that you think can expose some of those weaknesses?
Absolutely, yeah. And that's why these close scrimmages, again, I can't talk about them per se, but you do get a close scrimmage or an exhibition game. Close scrimmages against quality opponents expose your weaknesses, show your warts, and we'll find out a lot more over the next 2 weeks. But now, we got a week to figure it out after that last one before we start tipping it up, and that's why I'm not waiting until those scrimmages. I'm trying to analyze our team on a day-to-day basis, and I got to be the bad guy right now.
Then you saw last year, you said the leadership was really good coming off a rare down season for
how do you see that kind of molding this season, and who are some of those guys that you're going to really expect to have that part of the process?
Well, we have 4 fifth-year seniors: Xavier Johnson, Wesley Gordon, Derek White, and Josh Fortune. So I expect those guys, being their 5th year in college, 5th year of college basketball, to understand what leadership looks like, what needs to be done. George King is a 4th-year junior. He's in his 4th year. I expect it to come from him as well. So I would say those 5 guys: Dominic Collier, Thomas Aki, 2 point guards, need to have leadership qualities. And I always said it, when Josh left, Josh Scott, is that we can replace his production, his points and his rebound. Well, what the question mark is, can we replace his leadership? And I'm not sure of that right now. That's a big question mark with this team. The only way we're going to find out is when adversity hits, and that's the only way you find out what kind of leadership you have, is when that happens. And I don't know when that's going to happen. It could be November the 11th against Sacramento State. It could be in the next 2 weeks, one of these scrimmages. But adversity's going to hit us. Then I'll be able to answer that question. But right now, it's an unknown.
You were just in San Francisco at Boyle Media Day, seeing all the coaches and the players. Can you evaluate what you think this league looks like?
League is very, very good, very talented. You know there's very good coaches, and the coaches that don't win move on. But you look at the players coming in to the league. Lonzo Ball at UCLA, Markel Fultz. Arizona always recruits well. Oregon got one of the best JUCO big guys in the country. I mean, people have reloaded their cupboards and added to their arsenals, and I think we've recruited well too. But we've got a team that's got a lot of pieces coming back and that are capable. But our players, maybe they think they know, but this league is no joke, and the margin for error is very thin, and little things make a difference. And right now, we've got a lot of little things that aren't being taken care of that we have to get better at. So, but the league is terrific.
You have a couple of quite a few talented freshmen. What's your plan with the freshmen again? How do you gauge that?
Yeah, I like freshmen, and every year is different. But again, we got a team that's got a lot of pieces coming back. Xavier Johnson coming off his Achilles, Derek White sitting out last year, who's again both 5th-year seniors, to go along with Wesley Gordon and Josh Fortune. We got 8 guys returning, so those freshmen are certainly going to help us and infuse some energy and some talent. They have, but how much are they going to contribute? How many minutes are they going to get? We're kind of in a nice position where we don't have to count on them, but whatever they give us is it's almost like a B12 shot. It's that shot in the arm that make us that much better. We'll see how that plays out. But I think Bryce Peters, Delion Brown, Lucas Seward, and Dallas Walton's done some nice things. Now Dallas, possible redshirt, we'll figure that out in the next 3 weeks. Those 4 guys are really talented. They're going to have good careers in Colorado. But what kind of freshman year they're going to have, I don't know. But most freshmen have ups, they have downs, they have inconsistencies. But those guys are all talented. They're going to help us, whether it's this year or certainly in the future.
Ted, do you guys look at point guard as an area where obviously you want to improve all kinds of facets of the game. Is that going to be a really good key for you guys improving this?
Absolutely. Yeah, I think our point guard play has to be better this year than it was last year for us to continue on our upward trajectory in terms of postseason play, advancing in postseason play. Dominic Collier is a capable player, going from an underclassman role as a sophomore to an upperclassman as a junior. He's got 2 years of college basketball experience, had a good offseason in the weight room. His body changed. Thomas Aki, again, going from that freshman year, and a foreign kid goes through a lot more of an adjustment even than a domestic kid in terms of that freshman adjustment. So, but Thomas is much more comfortable this year. We've added Bryce Peters and Delion Brown some depth, that can help us. Derek White is a guy who can throw him at the point if we need to. So, we've got a lot of depth there, a lot of choices, a lot of options. But whoever emerges, or the 1 or 2 guys that do emerge, I said this, in San Francisco, that position is very well manned. Now, it has to be very well played. And that's the step we got to make.
Coach, with your non-conference schedule, it looks very comparable to last year, with maybe the one exception being getting a team like Xavier coming here. How do you feel about the schedule? What's it mean to get a big-time program like that at your home court?
Yeah, I mean, I promise, our players have no idea how good Xavier is right now. They have zero. Xavier right now would beat us by 20. It wouldn't even be close. Our guys don't understand that. They're going to find out. We got some time, hopefully, to figure that out. But they're terrific. Notre Dame in Brooklyn on the 21st of November is a pretty good program, pretty good coach. I mean, we got to have it strapped up. Sacramento State, I'm nervous about that one on November the 11th. I mean, that's how I feel right now as a coach. And I know that's coach speak, and you guys probably chuckle, but that's the reality of where I'm at. And again, we've got talent, we've got these quote unquote expectations, but I think they're a little out of whack right now.
Zach, with all due respect to the history of the program, you came into one where there were maybe light expectations, and you changed the dynamic considerably now. Does that act as an inspiration for something or other? Every year you have to raise the bar in a program. Can you just give me a sense for how expectations have changed your mindset and that of the program?
Yeah, I mean, I think if you talk, Bruce, to people that have been around here before, before it's like we've had that chip on our shoulder. We've been the underdog. We've been that team that everybody's counting out, and you can really inspire a group of guys a little easier that way. But now with those expectations grown, and now people do expect us to go to postseason play. They do expect us to go to the NCAA tournament. They do expect us to now advance. Your program's either getting better or it's getting worse. It's not staying the same. And we all want to get better. And for us to get better, to make that next step, it's not easy. And it's not going to be given to us. It's not going to be handed to us. And it's not going to be tweeted to us. We're going to have to go out and earn that. And we're going to have to beat people to make that happen. And we're going to have to do it on a consistent basis. And that's where we're not where we are right now. We're not consistent enough to say, okay, people need to come hunt us. We still need to be the hunter, in my experience. They picked us 5th. So, but the expectations have certainly grown. They've grown internally with coaches, players. They've grown certainly externally with media and fans. And then I think they've grown with recruits. I think we're going to have a great recruiting haul in November, and that's as a result of the expectations of this program getting bigger and better.
I'm hearing from you lack of consistency, and that's the bane of any coach and coaching staff, especially when you have experience in the program. Is that the lack of the balance that you've got going right now?
That's the lack of balance, absolutely. And look, I could be way off base. I could be, and I hope I am. If I am, it's good for everybody. But I just haven't seen the separation in practice. And again, I think some of our guys have the idea, you got the Allen Iverson approach to practice right now, and with all due respect to Allen Iverson, he's a hell of a player. But the fact is, we've got to bring it every day. And whether it's Sacramento State on November the 11th or Xavier on December, whatever, and then once we get into Pac-12 play, it's on. But we can't wait till then, and that's the one thing about, I think, our league. You mentioned the league, is it's November and December are so important for a basketball program and a set of programs in a league like the Pac-12. One of the reasons we got 7 teams in the NCAA tournament last year is every team in the Pac-12 had a great non-conference showing in their schedule, and it's important that we do that. It's important for ourselves, because those of you who were around 6 years ago when we didn't get in, we were the #1 seed in the NIT. That's not a good feeling. So we've got to make sure we have a good non-conference for ourselves and also for the league.
Ted, Derek White's been practicing now for a long time with you guys. What are your expectations when November 11th is from Derek White? Then all
Yeah, and again, I don't like to hype guys up. Derek's a terrific player, and all I can say is he's worth the price of admission. He's a guy that is a coach. When he's got the ball in his hands, he's going to make the right decision 9 out of 10 times. But what makes Derek White such a special player is when he doesn't have the ball in his hands. And the lost art of basketball today is guys moving without the ball and playing without the ball. And that's what Derek White does at a level that's so much higher than the average player. And that's what makes him so dangerous. He's dangerous with the ball, but he's almost as dangerous without the ball. Reading screens, making cuts, blocking shots, getting rebounds. He's terrific, and I expect a lot out of him. His teammates have a lot of trust in him. Again, I'm not going to hype him up, but I'm just saying he's very good.
In past years, 2 years ago, I think you had some detailed talks with George Marlowe in the offseason about the game of basketball, where this program's going. What was your offseason like this year? Who did you talk to? Did you have any of those, revealing moments?
Yeah, watched a lot of film with our team, and Bill Greer has been a great addition to our staff. Obviously we lost a really good coach in Rodney Phillips going to the University of Denver, but Coach Greer has been a great addition. New ideas, new thoughts, new energy. Sometimes change can be good, even when you lose a good coach. But we replaced a good coach with a good coach. So Coach Greer's really helped, I think, myself and our staff with that infusion of ideas and energy. I did go down to a clinic down in Florida this fall and spoke, and then also shared ideas. Coach Carl was there. A lot of other coaches spoke, and more of those one of those sharing type clinics that, again, you get new ideas. And but with this team coming back, you kind of know what you got coming back. Again, we don't know the freshmen, what all roles they're going to have, and what they're going to do, but we kind of knew the guys coming back. So figuring out what do we need to do defensively differently this year now that Josh Scott's gone. What do we do different offensively, and kind of making those kind of adjustments in the offseason.
On that, what have you asked of Wesley and Torrey from an offensive standpoint? Do you need them to do a little bit more? Have you asked them to change their games in any kind of way? Because I think they're special what they do with the energy and the rebounding. Do they have to add anything offensively?
Well, we want every player to add to their games in the offseason, whether it's a post player, whether it's a perimeter player. So it's important that both those guys had good off seasons. We want them to be low post presence, have a low post presence offensively. Now, I don't expect either one of them to be Josh Scott, because they're not, but be the best Torrey Miller you can be the best Wesley Gordon you can be, but certainly expand your game. Where Wesley is a good low post scorer, but he also is a good passer, can step away from the basket. He worked on his jump shot a lot this off season, so hopefully he can be an inside out guy. Torrey, same thing. He's really worked on his perimeter game. But those are guys we want to get the ball down low to, because we need. But we also have guys like Xavier Johnson, George King, Derek White, Josh Fortune, who are big wings who can post up as well. So that's why we need. I think that what makes this team so exciting to coach, and will hopefully be exciting to watch, is we've got a lot of balance. We can post up a lot of different guys. Whereas last year we were playing through Josh Scott, whether it was at the post or the elbow or whatever. This year it can be a multitude of guys. It might be Torrey, it might be Wes, it might be somebody else.
Got time for one more question.
You mentioned King, and he obviously had a really strong season last year. Has seemingly that potential to be one of the Pac-12's best players. What did you said to everybody including the game? What did you ask of him?
Well, again, George, I always say good players make themselves better. And George, in his redshirt year, made himself better. That's obvious. He's Pac-12 most improved player, breakout season. George is a good player. We all know that. Now, what does it take for you to become a great player? Well, great players make those around them better. And that's George's challenge now is, okay, you've made yourself a good shooter. You're a knockdown guy. You can get to the rim, get to the foul line. You can score points. That's great. Now, people can take that away from you. Now can you distribute, make plays for your teammates, be a better screener, be a better offensive rebounder, all the things that don't go into scoring the basketball, you can do those things as well. So becoming a good player to a great player is the hardest jump to make, but he's got to make those around him better. So that was the challenge for George.
Okay.
One more.
Hey, go ahead.
Sneak one more.
Ted, one of the Achilles heels of this last year was holding a late game. I think
Yep.
2 Utah games, I think it was a tournament game, I think it was a USC game. Fixing that, what does that look like now?
Two things. Very good question. It's a pretty simple answer. Number one is taking care of the basketball. The UConn game was lost because we couldn't take care of the basketball. It's back to guard play. Okay. The second thing is getting stops when you need to get stops. We beat Utah. Now, Lorenzo Bono made a hell of a play. I don't think we lost the Utah game. I think Utah beat us. But there are times in the season that we are going to have to get a stop. And we have to get those stops when the stops need to be had. And those are the two. You know, we got some offensive guys. You know, George King doesn't hit the three here against Washington State. We'll probably lose that game. Maybe an NCAA tournament bid is jeopardized. You know, you're going to have to make some plays there as well. Your players got to make plays, but defense, taking care of the ball, and at critical times.
Okay.